believe in bringing people that you love into this project. Now, would you bring somebody that you love into a project that you don't believe in? Of course you wouldn't. And of course I wouldn't. And we would never do that. So at this point in time, are we excited about the launch? Absolutely. Will I still people get into this, into Richard Heart projects? 100%. Why would I? Well, I don't know. Let me tell you why. If you would have got into Ethereum day one, if you would have got into Bitcoin day one, if you would have got into Tesla day one, or Home Depot or Amazon, oh my God, you'd be so loaded, you'd be on some, I don't know, private plane or something. So the fact that you could get into Richard Heart projects day one, now his first project did a 10,000x. What is his second project going to do? Well, Pulsechain is a layer one, and then PulseX is a DEX. Well, if you look at what layer ones have done, and then what the other DEXs have done, I think we're going to be okay.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I'm still telling a bunch of people, everybody that I can about Hex because of, just the token itself and how it works and whatnot. Um, Especially now, like I got into Hex when it was 20 cents. So now that it's way less than what I got into it for, that's usually what I start with, to kind of remove the skepticism from people. So, dude, I bought it at 20 cents. Like I went in hard at 20 cents, and right now it's freaking three. You know what I mean? And they just get a little excited and whatnot.
I bought it 28 cents, my first buy. And then I called my boss, my good friend who got me into this, and it went down to 20. He goes, buy. And went down to 15. He said buy. Went down to 10. He said buy. It went down. So I've been DCAing all the way down. So I have a shitload of Hex at a decent price. And I'll tell you what, Hex on Pulsechain is gonna kill it, bro. It's gonna kill it. I got a bunch of Hex friends here in Southern California that own millions and millions of Hex, and they're telling me that Hex on Pulsechain is gonna kill it. So I tend to surround myself with those kind of people.
Yeah, I hope it kills it too. You know what I mean? I DCA'd too. I got it at 20, then at 15, um, then at 10, then at 9, then at 5, and then at 3.
Amen.
So one of the last times I was in this channel, there was a lot of talk of swapping this or swapping that. I wonder if that's still kind of like the consensus, or what is your plan? Like, do you have a plan? Like, what you're gonna do when this thing goes off?
I'm sorry. Say that again, bro, please.
I was wondering, what is your plan for when this thing launches? Like, are you gonna swap certain things for other things? Are you gonna wait before the bridge, after the bridge?
That's a good question. I'm not gonna the 24 to, okay, so the 24 to 48 hours prior to it going live, I'm doing nothing because although I've been in Richard Hart project for a year, I know what I don't know. I learned that from Al Davis, the owner of the Raiders. You ever heard of the Raiders there, Al Smack?
Yeah, bro. I know exactly who Al Davis was. I met that guy.
Amen. So the reason why I'm not going to do anything because I know what I don't know. I don't know if I don't know because you'll be able to swap Pulsechain, PulseX for Pulsechain and Hex on the. It's going to get crazy. I think the smartest thing to do, especially if you're new into this ecosystem, is to do nothing. Right now, if you're in this chat, first of all, you're blessed. I just want to say that. Second of all, I'd be buying Hex and I have some dry power. I would buy some USDC. I would put it in my MetaMask. So when Pulsechain goes live, you can buy some Pulsechain and you can buy some PulseX. But as far as trading prior, in those 24 to 48, I'm not that smart. I think I would just. I think I'm just going to sit back, Alsamac, and see what's going on, and then make a play after the fact. Now, some people are gonna. We've talked about 65, 65 hex for one pulse. I mean, it's going to be crazy. So we'll see. I'm just saying what I'm going to do. I'm just going to sit back. Thank God I was able to get into Pulsechain. I sacrifice not so much, which I wish I would have sacrificed more. But on the PulseX side, I sacrifice a lot. I own a lot of hex. But if you're new in here and you're just trying to better yourself and help your family out, I would say not to do anything. That's what I'm gonna do, bro.
Yeah, dude.
65
That's the
hex
thing.
per
A lot of people don't know.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
65 hex per pulse is crazy.
You're breaking up, bro. We can't hear you. Go back out and come back in. I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
I was just saying that hex or 65 hex per pulse is crazy talk.
Exactly. So why would you do it? That's what I'm saying. But yet, that's what people are saying.
I got a lot of pulse. I'll trade them for it.
I apologize. Hold on a second. It's not 65 hex for one pulse. They're talking 5, 8, 10, maybe 15, not 65. So I want to correct myself. But even then, if you're gonna get, if you're gonna, if you have, let's say you have, I don't know, whatever case your bag is on PulseX, and you want to buy some Pulsechain, would you do it for 2, 3, 4, 5 times? In other words, for five hex, would you PulseX? I'm sorry, would you buy one Pulsechain token? And again, I apologize for that. You corrected me. But people are talking about that, and they're talking 3 to 5, maybe 10 per Pulsechain. So at some point, you have to believe that PulseX is going to do that much, or Pulsechain is going to do that much better. And I would never do that.
Yeah, I don't even know how to speculate. I don't even know how many coins. I didn't follow PulseX that well. I sacrificed very little since I already got Pulse, and it seems like a lot of the guys got it because they haven't heard of Pulsechain or were late and might swap out. But
Of course,
who
that's
knows?
exactly why they did it.
Me and my associates and I were wondering what we had to do to get some of that post chain.
What about you, Mac? Are you going to just hold some dry powder on the side as well, or are you gonna go? Are you do some trading prior to the real deal? What are you thinking?
Nah, dude, I'm not gonna do any trading. So, like I said, I'm new to crypto, bro. So, uh, I'm kind of just sitting back and kind of watching what everybody else is saying, watching what everybody else is doing, and then trying to read up as much as I can, connect any dots that I can, because at the end of the day, like, we all have to do whatever move benefits, like, us individually. Um, but the thing is that, give me a second. Hey, I'll be back. I'll be back in a bit, bro. Um, the thing is that, so I don't know if you guys are using the testnet or not. I'm gonna go to the doctor, bro. I'll be back. I don't know if you guys are using the testnet or not, but so I went on there, right, and I'm there playing with my PulseX and whatnot, and just trying to do moves, trying to do trades, trying to just play with it, and like within a month, like the value that I had is already down to half of that value. So I was just like, I'm obviously doing stupid moves here, you know what I mean? Because my value is now down to half, and I don't really know what the hell I'm doing. So kind of like what what's his name, Walrus says. I watched one of his YouTube videos where he explains that if you don't really know what you're doing, and if you're having to ask other people what you should do, then you probably
Yes,
shouldn't do anything.
you're so right. You're so right. I'm glad you said that because it can save a lot of people a lot of money, bro. A lot of money. Even if it's $500, $1,000, $500,000, it doesn't matter. Bottom line is, if you don't know, then don't do anything. It's kind of like when you want to speak about a subject, you have so you're having a conversation with somebody, and you have no, you can't bring anything to the conversation. Well, then shut up and listen. God gave us one mouth and two ears. Just listen. And I think what Walrus and ProFix, myself and yourself is saying is that if you don't know what you're doing, just hold on. I agree.
Yeah, or take the time to like do research and look into it, because I know that that's thrown out a lot. Do your own research, do your own research. But many times we have people coming in here asking like the simplest questions. This is why I understand how it can get kind of frustrating, where over and over and over and over the same question is asked. And it's like, dude, somebody could easily look, or whoever's asking a certain question, you can easily look it up and get that answer. But I kind of feel like a lot of people just like to be fed instead of like them doing their own research and following their own gut feeling on what they should do for themselves.
I agree. I couldn't agree with you more. Couldn't agree with you more. Which
Here's
is
the
ignorant if you
golden.
think about it. Because if you're going to put any money into anything, you should probably do your own research. Period. End of story. I'm not, Alsa Mac, you're not going to count on me to put in your position to make money. You're going to do your own research. And I think we're on the same page there. I think people need to do that. I think people need to, before they invest, they need to figure out what they're investing in. I agree.
I just have RH, but
What was that, Crypto Yeti?
I was like, I just let RH do my research.
Yes.
But what you should be doing is just leaving your coins wherever the fuck they are, wherever you sacrifice, bring in some new capital and buy up whatever you want during the dips. That's the safest play.
This guy's
Yeah, that's kind of like where I'm headed. You know what I mean?
I mean, we've had plenty of time to refill our freaking fiat.
This Yeti, we like Yeti.
I'm into Richard Project 100%. But I'll tell you this, I am not going to let Richard Hart do my research. It's my money. It's not his money. It's my money. So I disagree with that.
I was just fucking with you, man. Just sarcasm in here. You should do your own research for people you've worked with us in the crypto sphere.
Amen.
To help
Amen.
you out.
I think the important part, or I think it's the most important part that I don't hear a lot of people. I mean, I heard it every now and then, but I think the most important part is like, are people ready with whatever their plan is for this launch? Because everybody's waiting for this to launch. Well, are you ready with a plan? Like what's the first thing you're gonna do? What's A? What's B? What's C? What is it that you're gonna do? And I don't really hear a lot of people talking about that, especially a lot of people that got into like other projects and whatnot. Like you need to have a plan. Like unless your plan is just to sit and hold, you know what I mean? Because a lot of the people that I onboarded, I literally told them that. I was like, you guys don't know nothing about crypto. You guys, like you guys are saying, oh, this is hard. Oh, what do you mean I have to download a wallet? Well, in that case, just trust me. Trust me. Let me lead you. Go ahead and get this HEX. Get this, get that. and then just go back to living your life. Go back to your 9 to 5. Go back to doing the thing you were doing. If you think this is too hard for you, then just hold on to my tailcoat. But there is people that want to get involved and want to see what they're doing, and they're just literally on the chat or just kind of just waiting or watching YouTube videos and what's next, when's launch. But do you have a plan? Like, what is the first step you're going to do when Richard Hart says, boom, it's on? What is the first step? It's, are you going to go over there and click on buy? Are you going to go over there and click on swap? Like, what is that plan of yours? I think people need to really focus on that.
Amen. I agree, Elsa Mac, 100%.
So yeah, dude, for me, I plan on just holding, kind of sitting back, waiting for all the dust to settle. And I'm pretty sure that, some people that make moves that know what they're doing, they're probably going to make a lot of money, probably double or triple their bags, as soon as the thing goes off with their swaps. But see, a lot of these people that I've heard talking about this, like, they know what they're talking about. Like, they know what they're saying. And I'm just there as, a fly on the wall, kind of listening, trying to absorb and connect dots. But I'm not going to go try an experiment to do the things that they're talking about, because these guys know what they're talking about, And like I said, I know that a lot of these guys are probably going to make a lot of money doing that. But it doesn't mean that those that decide to just sit back and hold eventually, won't, because at the end of the day, that's the name of the game. You hold. What does Richard Hart say? It's time in the market, right? So there's no good, like what I'm saying is there's no good or bad. I'm not saying trading is good. I'm not saying trade is bad. I'm not saying holding is good. I'm not saying holding is bad. It's just whatever works for you. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's their money. I agree with you 100%. It's their money. What is good for you? But I got to tell you, if you buy the bottom and sell the top, you're going to be okay. You have to take profits. We need to take profits. I have a friend. I'm not going to dox him, obviously, but he's a day one Hexian. And Elsa Mac, you probably heard me say this before. He made $10 to $11 million on Hex. He has a friend who he brought into the business who never ever took profits. So when he invested, I don't know, I want to say $3,000, $4,000, and it went to like $6-7 million. He never took profits ever. Now he's back down to, I don't know, maybe $500-600 I don't know. But at some point, if you don't take profits, you're gonna miss out. You have to take profit. There's nothing wrong with that. So don't anybody tell you, well, you're an idiot. You're gonna, make the price go down. Who cares? It's your money. It's your money. You need to take profit.
You're right.
I think people need to
You're right, dude. Even many times, like you'll see the posts on Twitter or whatnot, about that bot. I think it's called a Hex bot or something. I don't know what it's called, but it posts every time somebody makes, a buy or whatnot. And a lot of the times, I'll see a post about like, oh, look at this idiot sold this Hex and look at how much he lost because of the slippage and right? And I'm just like, well, these guys don't know what the fuck was going on. Sorry to cuss. I'm like, these guys don't know what's going on. Like, you don't know if that person had some kind of money emergency. You don't know. We don't know. You know what I mean? So we can't make judgment calls off of some swaps or whatever that we saw on the blockchain, you know what I mean? And calling them idiots, because I remember when I first got into crypto and when I first got into Hex, I remember hearing a story about people I remember seeing a specific story. I don't know if it's true or not, but it was a story about that somebody locked away their Hex for like, I don't know, 10, 15 years. But that when Hex blew up, it was like millions of dollars and, millions of dollars in there that it was worth. And this guy decided to end stake and obviously lost on all of that, but still what he ended up profiting was still like a few million or something. So, just throwing off random numbers. So like, for example, if I throw $100 in a Hex back in 2019 and that thing turns into 50 million, but I have it locked away in a stake and I unstake it because my 100 is now a million, I don't care what anybody thinks about me. You know what I mean? I turned my 100 into a million. I don't care that you think. I don't care that you think that, oh, I lost out on 50 million. Oh, this idiot. Look at he unstaked on you know, a month later, and I don't give a shit. I turned my 100 into a million. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day,
Yep.
you know, it doesn't matter.
Amen. I agree 100% with you. It's your bags, it's your family. Bottom line, nobody else's.
Yeah. So point again, you just have to have a plan. You know what I mean? Like, just have a plan. What are you gonna do? Then I hope that people are not just gonna do what other people are gonna do. Because I'll be honest, when I first got into crypto, I was just like, oh, you know, I kind of looked at who are like the, you know, the popular people on here that were always on here. You know, Papa Boner, um, uh, what is it, PulseX, you know, all like the,
Walrus.
you know, popular people, the admins and whatnot. Yeah, Walrus, right? And I was like, oh shit, he's saying he's gonna do this. I'm gonna do that too. Oh, he said right, and I was like, like I need to stop thinking like that, because they're doing those moves based on
Exactly.
their view. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's a great point. You have to, because and I'm with you. Same thing. I was just like you, bro, a year ago. You know, and like, oh well, if Walrus is doing this, I need to, or if Papa Butter needs to do this, is doing this, I'm gonna, or if Profex, then I'm no, I'm not. What I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna do my research, and then I'll go balls deep. And don't get me wrong, Papa Boner, he's our security guy. I love him. Walrus is actually one of my good friends, and actually, I won't lie. If he told me to do something, I probably would. But Walrus, he's a good man. Tam, all the admins, I was able to become friends with them, and but at the same time, Mandalorian, Pepe, Redneck, all you different folks, even yourself, Elsa Mac, I've learned a lot, you know, because when you're green, you grow, when you're ripe, you rot. When you think you know everything, you know nothing. Then you're just a moron. So I try to surround myself with a bunch of positive people, because if I do that, I'm going to be okay. Now, just like drug addicts, scroll bags hang out together, so do people with well-minded minds. And that's what I'm talking about. So I agree with you 100%, bro.
Exactly, dude. That's one thing that I learned when I was building my business and when I was reading on leadership and whatnot. Right? Um, you know, you do become a product of your environment. It's all about your mentality, and
So
I
true.
always said to myself, you know, I always said to myself that if I'm the smartest person in the circle, I need to find a new circle. You know what I mean? Because you're right, bro. Like, you can never stop learning. You know, I remember I used to preach that, dude, when I used to recruit people into my business. I mean, I'd be like, you know, people go to school because they're told, and then the moment they graduate, they like stop learning. You know, and I mean, like, that's like the biggest mistake you can do. You need to like continue to educate your brain, and you know, like keep feeding it. And but yeah, you're right, dude. You know, it's all about just like me, for example. I when I found out about this, bro, like my boy was bugging me. He was bugging me, crypto for 10 years, dude, and I never listened, you know. And then finally, right, I watched the video that he sent me, and it was like my life changed, dude. Like, I was sitting there 11 o'clock at night, and I watched this Richard Hart interview, and literally from that point forward, my life changed, you know. And I say my life changed because my mentality changed, you know. Like, it's
Exactly.
like my
Exactly.
wife saw it, dude. My wife saw it right away. She goes like, "You're different," and she goes, because she saw like this new drive, and this new drive in me was to learn this crypto thing, because I was like, wow, I can't believe I've ignored this thing for the last 10 years when I was busy building my insurance business, you know, because that alone was, you know, was a lot, you know, just somebody from the hood learning insurance and investments now, and you know, and I had to learn people skills, and it took a lot, dude. Like, I literally transformed myself into the person that I am.
Amen.
But
I
it's
bet.
crazy, dude. It's so crazy how now that I understand this whole insurance game and I understand how it works, and I come into the crypto industry, and it's just a whole different world, dude. So what I did is I just put my head down and I started to learn as much as I could and read as much as I could, and be on this channel just listening in the background, you know, and a
Exactly.
lot of things were said that didn't make sense, bro. Like, I remember hearing the word FUD, and I didn't know what the hell they were talking about until I finally Googled it, you know? So that's literally what I did. That was my approach. My approach was just to like listen in, take notes, go on the internet if I didn't understand the concept that was being mentioned. And then later down the road, like a month later, a topic comes up. And now I understand the topic because I remember a month ago what I studied and, I connected the dots now. So it's crazy, bro, how it's just a whole different world. And I just think that, like I said, people that are new into this or whatnot, like even people that are not new into this, you need to let go of your damn ego, dude. That's like the biggest mistake men have. It's the biggest
Yes.
setback that men have, bro. Their little egos and shit. And I have no problem calling people out on their ego, bro, because it's something that I've been working on myself, But yeah, it's crazy, dude. Like even if you've been here 10 years, there's always something you can learn. You know what I mean?
Hey, Alcenback, it's so funny you say that because you called me on that a couple of times.
I had to, bro. I had to. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not doing it to be a hater. I'm just like, nah, dude, you're wrong on this one. I'm sorry. You know what I mean?
Hey, but it's okay. I think you're wrong at some points as well. But we'll agree to disagree.
Yeah.
I think we have the same goal. Yeah,
it's just, I think the mistake too, or not the mistake. The problem is that sometimes we don't see everything from our point of view. So sometimes we can be like all stuck or stubborn, sticking to our guns because we just see things from our point of view. But the moment that it's shown to us from a different point of view, it's like, oh wow. And I'll show you a little quick story real quick. I probably already told it to you or not, but that's exactly how I got recruited into the insurance industry. You know what I mean? I was a 29-year-old man, and I was working for a social services department, right? I was working for the county. I had a social services job, and that where I'm from, that's the pinnacle because I didn't graduate high school. I was born and raised in the hood. I didn't go to college. So for someone like that to have a social services job, I always looked like some kind of freaking god, bro. It's so stupid now that I think about it, you know what I mean? Like, but my friends, my family, like, oh my god, so and so he works at social services, right? So it was considered like the top dude, right? So about 6 months into me having this job, I went from making $12 an hour as a 29-year-old man, making $12 an hour in San Jose, California, to making 26. So I more than doubled my income. So me myself, I also felt good about it. I was like, oh my god, I more than doubled my income, and I was born and raised in the hood, and right, all these things, right? So it stroked up my ego a little bit, right? So what I'm saying is this: 6 months later, dude, I run into this little 19-year-old girl, and she starts telling me about insurance, and right, and this girl, she's 19, but she's well put together. She has like a nice suit, like a dress suit. She has a little watch on, and you could tell she looks professional. When she's using words like business and in my office, and I wasn't used to that, dude. So long story short, this is what I'm trying to get to, bro. This little 19-year-old pretty much slapped me left and right, dude. She was like, what do you mean you don't have life insurance? I'm like, well, I don't have life insurance. What do I need life insurance? She goes, well, you told me that your mom lives with you and you take care of her. I said, yeah. You told me that you pay all her bills. I said, yeah. You told me that you provide for her. I said, yeah. So what would you do, or what's your mom going to do, God forbid one day you don't wake up? And she literally painted a picture in my head that I've never looked at. So what I'm saying is she gave me a different perspective, right? So she starts saying, so what? Is your mom going to have to go in the corner of the street over there and put a car wash sign and start waving it left and right? So she started making me have visual images of my mom holding a freaking car wash sign to bury her son. So this is what I mean about having a different perspective, bro, because as a 29-year-old man, I always said to myself, what the hell do I need life insurance for? I'm single, I have no kids, I'm not married. What do I need life insurance for? You know what I mean? And that's the whole mentality, bro, that I have. So when this little 19-year-old girl gave me a different perspective, it literally changed my life. Like literally that same night, I went home and started doing research. It's just crazy. She was 19, bro. She was 19. She had just turned 19. I was 29. I was going on 30. You know what I mean? And my ego at the beginning wasn't allowing me to receive what she was saying because why? Because she was a little 19-year-old girl and I was this 29-year-old man working for the county. So this is what I mean about egos, bro, and men with egos and having a different perspective, bro. Because at the end of the day, it is what it is. We men have egos, and we need to learn how to freaking ignore that. And when somebody's telling us something, we need to remove our stubbornness and look at the other side. You know what I mean? Because dude, it changed my life. Both times it changed my life, dude. It's crazy.
That's super cool, man. I couldn't agree with you more. That's super cool. And that goes back to where when I'm 56. I just turned 56 June 29th, and I'm a big proponent of when you're green you grow, when you're ripe you rot. When you think you know everything, you're just a freaking moron. So anybody on the chat, well, I know that, and I know what Alcimac is talking about. I know what Jake and here. No, you don't. I don't. I'm trying to learn. So if anyone on the chat could bring life and speak life into me, so I can share with my kids and my grandkids, I'm going to be blessed. Now, when you think, well, you just know everything, then you're just a freaking moron. It's kind of like JK. He's on here right now, but that guy, he's just the Mister Negative, and I don't like that. And I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, but I've learned stuff from you, Elsa Mac. You're somebody that I can truly listen to and gain knowledge from. And if I can't, I won't listen to you. But I do listen to you. You and I have our different opinions on different things, but you're a good man, and I think I think at this point, people that are on this chat that want to better themselves, it's good they come on here and learn because they're here right now because they want to learn about crypto and cryptocurrency, and we're in a place right now where we can help them. A year ago, I was new on here, and now I'm not. Well, why am I not? Well, because I've learned. I've sat and I've learned, and I've asked questions to all the big heads, Walrus and Profix and Papa Boner, you know, Gamma, all the different people. And what am I trying to do? I'm trying to better myself. I'm trying to get in a position to where when the bull market, I'm sorry, the bear market is over, I'll be positioned to where I can make some money. And I think
Yeah, dude. Yeah. One of the things that I like about Papa Boner is how when he teaches somebody about this whole security wallet game, he then says, "Good. Now that you know, you can go teach someone else." You know what I mean? And
exactly.
that's one of the things I love about this dude, about this community, because at the end of the day, it is about teaching other people and learning off each other. But once again, I'll say it again, it's when your freaking ego comes up. And to be honest, bro, the only time I didn't sell life insurance because I was really good, bro. I was the the company that I was with, it was a multi-level company, bro. So it's about recruiting and building teams, right? They got to the point where I was being flown around to different states to go help that team out or to go help that team out. Or hey, can you come speak to my team? Hey, can you speak to my team? Because at the end of the day, you had these people that were making a quarter million and whatnot, you know what I mean? But they were stagnant. It's like, dude, you've been making a quarter million, but it's been 3 years that you stayed at a quarter million. The whole name of this game with the insurance company that we're with is that you make that and then you grow and then you make more and then you make more and then you don't stay stagnant, right? So there was a lot of people that thought they were the shit, but they only made, they were very stagnant at their income. So this is where that verse that you're saying, about, if you either green and growing, right, or like if you think you know it all, dude, that's the biggest problem, and that's what I would
Exactly.
see in the industry that I was in, dude. Like I'd go to these people's offices, and you know these guys were wearing like top notch shoes, and like, dude, I'm so cheap. It didn't matter how much money I made, bro, because I'm from the fucking hood, bro. And I'm sorry to keep cussing. So it's just in my genes, you know what I mean? It's not in my genes. It's like in my it's how I grew up, you know what I mean? So I still wear khakis, you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna go and buy Louis Vuitton. I don't like Louis Vuitton. Like I hate the design, and I always think about like, dude, if this thing costs $6 instead of 3,000, would you still buy it, or are you just buying it because of the value? Because the design is freaking ugly. Like there's all these things, like I don't know. I don't want to get down that path, but what I'm saying is like I would go to people's offices and they had beautiful offices, bro, and they stood up straight and tall with their chest out, like like they were kings and whatnot. But then there's this freaking dude from the freaking east side of San Jose that's there to teach you how to school you on how to up your game. You know what I mean? And a lot of times they wouldn't allow me because their little egos wouldn't let them, bro. Because you have this little Hispanic dude from San Jose going, and talking to this big old tall white dude who's been in the industry and he used to work for J.P. Morgan, and like none of that crap matters. You know what I mean? And when it came to selling insurance, dude, 99% of the time you bought from me because it made sense, not because I used trickery on you, because it just made sense. The same way that little 19-year-old girl helped me understand that it's important, right? I would help people understand how important it is. Whether you were a single person or whether you had a business with 500 people in it or whether you had a small business, like we had solutions to help you improve what it is that you were doing. And the only time it wouldn't happen, bro, is if their little freaking ego would come out and not allow the process. Because everything that I said, bro, was not wrong. I never used trickery. I never screwed anybody over. It was just, doesn't it make sense? After everything I would say, doesn't it make sense? Doesn't that make sense? It was stupid little closing lines that I was taught. Doesn't that make sense? Well, would you rather this or would you rather that? Well, if you had the choice, would you rather this? It was just so simple, dude, and it made sense because I was an independent agent and I can sell you any type of life insurance policy that you can think of. So I had no competition, like zero competition, dude, and I was really good. And like I said, the only time it didn't happen is when the ego came up, and in their head, like when I would meet with engineers, dude. When I would meet with engineers, they wanted to see numbers, so I would print out a whole Excel sheet with numbers and how it's going to work and all that, and then they'd ask me, "Well, how old are you?" Like, so what does it matter how old I am? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. So their little ego wouldn't allow it, dude. And this is why I keep saying that the biggest problem is people's egos. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah, dude. I just came to my doctor's appointment. I'm gonna be in here for about half an hour or so. So I'll jump back in a bit. It was good talking to you.
All right, brother. Sounds good. Hey, Merch. What's up, brother? Merch, you awake? What's going on? Con- Connects. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Hey, just got my hands tied.
Adrian. What's up, bro?
Hey,
I was talking about you yesterday.
okay.
It was in a good way. I'm a heterosexual.
That is good.
So, are you being safe over there? Everything good?
Yep, I'm at the seaside.
Amen. Cool. Adrian, so I have a question for you. You got a minute?
Yes.
Okay. So, my question is this: voice my opinion here as far as Hex on Pulse Chain and stuff like that. What the Hex is going to do here in Southern California, and obviously they're all over the world. But let me ask you a question: what Hex do you think will perform better, the Ethereum or the Pulse on Hex on Pulse Chain? Seriously,
I have no clue. Even Richard said he hasn't any clue. The markets will decide.
what? That was like 2 seconds. Say it again.
I've said I have no clue. Also, Richard said that he himself has no clue. The markets will decide.
I disagree, Adrian. You're being very modest right now because that's who you are. But I'm gonna give you my I'm gonna give you my analogy. The gas fees on Pulse Chain are gonna be super stupid low, and people that I'm onboarding, that's what they're gonna use. So why would you say that you have no clue? I think you have a clue, but I think you don't want to say.
No, seriously, I'm not betting on any of them. I want them both. I mean, there will be
Of
some
course,
arbitration in between, and we cannot guess.
I'm not guessing. I'm telling you, Hex on Pulse Chain is gonna kill it. The Ethereum side is going to do well as well because less people staking, the higher APY. But I will say this: people that were trying to get onto Pulse Chain, Hex on Pulse Chain, PHEX, um, it's gonna go nuts.
Yeah, but there will be some arbitration because of the APY. So I'm not betting on one specifically.
You want to make a bet?
No,
Come on, Adrian. I bet you 100 Hex. I bet you 100 Hex that Hex on Pulse Chain does better.
yeah, but at what point in time? In 6 months and later in 9 months, the other one will be better, and then again, the one on push chain will be better, and so on.
Give me 1 year. 1 year. After 1 year, I would agree that Hex on Ethereum side is gonna they're gonna kill it as well because less people are staking their Hex. But I gotta tell you, because of the gas fees on Pulse Chain, I think all and there's a reason why I say that. Let me share with you why. Hex on Pulse Chain, because of the fees, obviously you can buy it very inexpensively. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about young kids that work at McDonald's or work at wherever the case may be that want to invest into Pulse Chain or PulseX or Hex. And it doesn't cost them. Again, let me go back for a second. I onboarded my niece. She's 21 years old, and she bought $300 of Hex, and it cost her $80. So she goes, Uncle Jaconator, what's this $80? I go, well, that's the Ethereum fees. So the reason why I'm saying that Hex on Pulse Chain is going to kill it because then you have a bunch of people that are making $1,500 or $2,000 a month, and all of a sudden they can buy Hex on the Pulse Chain side. So if you're going to sit here and say, well, I don't know, I disagree. I think you do know, Adrian.
Yeah, but wells are not caring about gas fees that much, and one well can make up for 2,000 little guys.
You could have a whale that has 20 million, but you could also have a bunch of little people that make up for 50 or 100 or 200 million. So I could disagree with you, bro.
Then send me a DM with the bet so we have a timestamp and the duration, and then let's talk in 1 year.
Amen. Good to hear you though, bro. Been a while.
Yeah, same here.
Shakenator's about to lose a bet.
Who's talking shit? Is that Chaztown?
Ooh, yeah, you know it.
No, you're gonna lose, bro. You'll see. I bet you too. I'm a better. I'm not betless. Hey, Chaztown. Question for you.
Yep.
Do you think we're gonna be blessed?
You know, if you'd asked me that,
Dude, I can't hear you.
no, I had to answer the other line. Okay, so if you'd have asked me that, what, I don't know, October, September of last year when we were getting in, I'd have said yes. And I still think to a degree. But when you listen to Pepe, I didn't have that much dry powder, but Pepe is like, you're not going to be blessed unless you have 20, unless you entered the sacrifice at 25,000 or more.
That's wrong. I disagree with that 100%. Pepe is wrong. And I love Pepe. He's my good friend. I talk to him all the time. But that's bullshit. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I mean,
I would just say real quick that blessed has different definitions.
depending on where you live, economics, of course, we already know what the current state of the market and everything is, but depending on where you live, depending on your age, depending on your responsibilities, depending on your lifestyle, family, yeah, all those are contributors. Um, but if you put blessed at the very mild degree and say living well off to where you can not have to depend on a 9 to 5 job, um, it depends. Um,
I couldn't disagree with you more. Do me a favor. Google blessed. You're blessed if you have kids that have no problems. There are people in the world who have kids and grandkids that have issues. So if you're healthy and your family is healthy, and then you and I have the opportunity to get onto the chat and learn about rich art projects and and put our money into them, only we can afford to lose. We're gonna be blessed, bro. You're blessed already. If you woke up this morning, every day I wake up in the morning and say, Lord, thank you so much for letting me. If you don't believe in God, I really don't care. You probably won't be blessed. But if I wake up in the morning and I say, Lord, thanks for another day. But I got to tell you, I only put in money I could afford to lose. So anybody on this chat right now that is putting their rent money in, that's not a smart thing. You have to be smart with your money.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct, and I do the same thing, man. I wake up above ground, and I'm not in that 8 foot plus deep hole. Shoot, it's all good.
Amen. People woke up dead, bro. They're checking in. How do you wake up dead if you go to sleep? How do you wake up dead? Well, if you go to sleep alive, you wake up dead.
They don't have anything to look forward to, and they treat everything as it's the end of the world with no positive outlook.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, but I do think that I mean, we're going to be in a very fortunate place to be in something that's at the ground level, which a lot of people don't have that opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anybody here that has a 15-year stake, like if you're like in it for the long run, like just imagine what the project is gonna look like, Pulsechain, PulseX. 15 years down the line.
Exactly.
That's absolutely true. And I've got so many stakes now, it's not even funny. However, I wish I were thinking a little bit more clearly when I did set them up, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to take me away from setting up any stakes here pretty soon, which I'm definitely going to do. But I'm going to try to, you're not supposed to time the market, but somehow we need to include bear markets. So, and kind of go back to history, or like, is this an every 2.5, 3 year pattern or what? So that whenever you do have uh, matured stakes and they're ready to end, that it's hopefully not going to end during a, like, I mean, you may even have to look at politics, the whole 9 yards, you know, new presidents, and try to factor all those things somewhat in your equation. And of course, you're not going to be spot on, but somewhere in your uh, down the road thinking.
Yeah, that's one thing that I was really looking or thinking about when I did stake, because I was thinking, okay, well, what if when the 15 years are up, or whatever, a year, 2 years, whatever you decide to do, what if when that time comes, the market is like completely down? Like, for example, right now, what if people in stakes are coming out right now and they have time stake and the market is down, and then they're going to get gas fees and all that. So it is a lot of planning and thinking that you have to do.
Alpha Mac, just follow my lead, bro. You'll be fine.
Yeah, to be honest, I ain't worried, dude. Like I mentioned before, I didn't put in more than what I could afford to lose. I know a lot of people probably did, and they're probably, stressing or mad, or Richard Hart is doing or whatever.
Yeah, it
But yeah,
sucks.
I took a safe approach. So I was just like, you know what, I'm new to this. I'm excited about this, but I'm not gonna go and sell my home, or, put my mortgage or whatever, you know what I mean, into it.
Crypto Ellen, how you doing? Will, what's up, brother? Will, you there? Death Town. Everybody's dead on here. What the hell?
Yeah, it's like a morgue.
It's
Unfortunately.
awful. I'm trying to figure out how people come onto the chat and they want to learn, but yet they say nothing. And I understand. You guys sit back and relax. But at some point, if you really invest in anything, come on, talk. It's awful.
Yeah, I actually saw Mello, and we were talking this morning, and I group um, to come to the Telegram group, and man, I'm gonna have to answer this call, but real quick, so I got him to actually come over here, and he was like, "Hey, is anybody talking?" Nobody would talk, so then he bounced. But I found him over in the Twitter Spaces. But here, I need to take this call real quick. I'll be back in just a minute.
Okay. If you're coming onto the chat and you want to get to gain some knowledge, you gotta say something. Have a question, something. That's what I did a year ago. So you sit and listen, but if people don't interact with each other, then there is no conversation. So we're trying to get this group back into the gist. So if anybody on here has a question, um, say something.
Mic test. I'm trying to test a headphone set. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes.
Thank you. I remember when I was little, summers in my country were very hot at night, and now it's freaking cold. I mean, the temperatures during the day are the same, but during the night I have to wear long trousers and a hoodie on the freaking balcony, which is unheard of in the past.
Adrian, I have a question for you. You ready?
Go.
Okay, so if I buy Hex right now on the Ethereum side, will I get a free copy on a Pulsechain side?
I don't know. We should ask Richard.
Hold on. I need the answer. Please tell me.
I don't know. I have to research some more.
Hold on, Adrian. I know that's our joke from like a year ago, but honestly, if there's people on here right now, if I buy Hex on the Ethereum side, will they get the copy over? Tell them. They need to know.
Yep. They will get.
Okay, cool. Amen.
I was talking with PulseX and Papa, and because the chat was quiet lately here in the audio chat, I was thinking it will be nice if we could put like a last Richard's stream to go on the chat while nobody's talking. I mean, I like a lot to hear him talking, and lately I've listened to his last streams like twice, and it will be very nice to hear him here also.
I agree.
Oh, earlier today when I joined the chat for a bit, Papa told me that Richard popped in the chat for like a few seconds and then exited, and it was the real account.